Hey guys, this is Alfred back with another video with version 3.6 just around the corner. I'm here to give you guys my opinion of which of these characters are worth your Stellar Jade in investing in. Now before we begin with this video, please pull for your favorite characters first. This is a gacha game, so please pull for your husbando and waifus. Doesn't mean the character is meta, means you should feel enticed to pull for them. However, if you are here for a meta perspective, I'm here to give you guys my thoughts of which of these characters are worth your Stellar Jades. Now with all that said, let's begin with this video. Now the first banner we're going to talk about is going to be the Herta and Evernight banner. Let's first talk about Evernight. Evernight is a HP scaling memo sprite character, so she will be in the Remembrance class. Technically, her gimmick is that she does scale with HP and she does do more damage based on the number of memo sprites there are in the team, or in the field rather. So technically you can play her in two teams. One is the Aglaea team and the other one is a Caceres team. You can play her as a sub DPS. Because she is HP scaling, it is more prominent that you play her in the Caceres team than the Aglaea team. And in fact, you probably do not want to play her in the Aglaea team because Aglaea is attack and crit scaling rather than HP scaling. But you can technically still play her there. In the Caceres team, you will be replacing Tribi. If you do have Tribi and you want to save your Stellar Jades, honestly, don't really need to pull for Evernight. But if you want to increase the damage overall for the whole team, you can definitely just bring Evernight. Evernight does do a lot more damage than Tribi, although she does not buff the whole team like Tribi. Her damage itself is kind of sufficient to replace her, and that means that you can play Tribi in other teams where you are also more AoE focused, making Tribi a more flexible pick in that case. Now you can also play Evernight as a main DPS, basically replace Caceres with Evernight, and you also kind of have an Evernight team, although it doesn't do as much damage as Caceres. But in certain situations where the enemies have ice weakness but not quantum weakness, you can definitely work around that and play something like an Evernight main DPS over the Caceres. So she also kind of gives you options, and in a sense, Evernight will be a really good character if you have the relevant pieces for a Remembrance team. If not, you should probably skip her because there are two better characters that are coming out with her as well. Now the next character with her is going to be the Herta. The Herta used to be the strongest DPS in the game hands down. I've always said that the Herta was crazy. However, if you watch my recent tier list video, I did drop the Herta from S+ tier to S tier, but don't get me wrong, she is still in S tier, meaning that she still does a lot of damage. But the main reason why she isn't as good is because that she has to compete with the likes of Anaxa, Caceres, and even Phynon in order to get that S+ tier slot. Now all these three characters I've mentioned are really insane in every single game mode we have right now, whereas the Herta is only really prominent in pure fiction game mode. While she still does damage in Forgotten Hall and in the Apocalyptic Shadow, she doesn't do as much damage as, let's say, a HP scaling Caceres team or even a Phynon Anaxa team with Saridra. So because of that, she won't be really as good as them, but she still do a lot of damage as long as you have a lot of the AoE sub DPS and supports for her. So if you are struggling in the AoE department and you really need a solid character to do and clear the pure fiction, you can consider picking up the Herta. But there is actually a better character coming out alongside her in the phase 2 banner, which is going to be Anaxa. So I already said Anaxa much stronger than the Herta, especially if you have Saridra. So if you pulled for Saridra last banner for Phynon, you can look to pull for Anaxa in this case. Anaxa's damage is insanely strong, and the fact that he can apply every single weakness on the enemies means that you can technically just bring Anaxa in every single game mode. If you are lacking elements to defeat a certain boss, just bring Anaxa. His damage right now with the release of Saridra is able to help him clear even single target enemies. So in my opinion, he is the best DPS if you have Saridra in that case. If you don't have Saridra, but you have the Herta, you can also technically pull for Anaxa for these AoE teams. You can use Anaxa as a sub DPS, and you can also use him as a main DPS, making him a very flexible character to have. And basically, you can just slot him in a lot of teams and he will do very well. So and that's the reason why, if you are really mainly looking for an AoE character, right now I actually do recommend you pick up Anaxa over the Herta. And the last character I don't think we really need to talk about is going to be the new Heng alternate, which is going to be the Permanasaur Terray. I think I butchered his name, but the reason why we don't have to talk about it is because he is a free character and you all will be getting him for free. But just want to talk about his niche, I guess. He is a shielding character that also kind of does damage. We have seen this in the past with Adventuring, but he also kind of does follow-up damage. So you can technically have a follow-up tank in your follow-up attack teams. But as we know right now, follow-up attack isn't really really too prominent in the meta, so I'm not sure how strong he will be then, but he is still a free unit, so we will all appreciate Hoyoverse for giving us this free character. So in conclusion, what should be your pulling strategy? The number one character you should probably look for right now is going to be Anaxa. Like I said earlier, Anaxa just a really fantastic character all around, especially if you have Saridra. So if you have Saridra and you are looking to clear most of the endgame content at the moment, I think you should definitely look to pull for Anaxa, followed by either Evernight or the Herta. Well, if you have a lot of the AoE nailed down already, you should look to pull for Evernight instead, because you can look to play around a Mamosprite HP scaling team, which is the strongest way to do damage right now. And even if you don't have Caceres, remember you can still play a main DPS Evernight team. It's completely fine. But if you have all these characters and you want to pull the Herta, I think it's completely fine to pull for the Herta herself. She still does a lot of damage and is still really strong at the moment, so I don't think the Herta is bad right now. But just do note that you are going to be competing with stronger DPS, so unless you already have all that and you're pulling for the Herta for the meta, I think it's a safe skip for this banners. Now with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching this super quick rundown. If you like this video, please do leave a like. It shows me I should do more. Comment down below which of these characters you are planning to pull for, and finally do subscribe. We will be doing more videos like this in the future once again. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Peace.